It's time to look forward. Kindness is all around, plus your favorite breakfast cereal.
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Hello, and welcome to a Wednesday. Wait for it. Are you ready? We made it. It is April 1st, 2020, day 199 of Gotta Get on Ellen. We actually made it through March. Yes, we were beginning to wonder if it would ever happen. Indeed, it has. We have now turned the page on the good old Taylor Swift calendar. Of course, with the first comes some stress, and it means that bills are due for a lot of people. Stimulus checks supposed to be on the way. Hopefully that will help. I know there is all kinds of things you can do to put off a payment. I'm not real sure the specifics of it, but I believe you have up to 3 months now that you can, get some kind of break. I had thought initially that then you would need to pay it all back on month 4, but I'm hearing that they're going to delay those payments to the end of your loan. I guess it depends on your mortgage company, what have you. Of course, this doesn't really account for people who are paying rent rather than a mortgage. That's something you've got to work out with your own personal landlord or management company. So open communication, that is the best route to go right now, is be open and honest and let them know what is going on. And nobody's going to be surprised to hear that people are out of work right now and don't have the money that they normally have to pay their regular bills. But it is April 1st, and we're going to try and look at it through a positive lens today, even though it's a very cold and windy day here at the Jersey Shore thus far. Good news, the beaches are open. There's been a lot of confusion around this in the area because one of the towns had put out on social media that their beaches were closed. And this was about, I don't know if it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Now, Long Beach Island is made up of a bunch of individual little towns. So even if that one town was going to enforce no beaches, no beach access from their town, you could still get on the beach from other places. Then there was all this talk that everybody had closed the beaches, and then you would see people posting pictures from the beach. So, I mean, personally, I would think that the beach would be a great place to get out and get some exercise, and it's plenty of room to properly social distance yourself from others. I did receive an email yesterday that I haven't been out, but apparently there is a sign on Route 72 leading onto Long Beach Island that says the beaches are closed. I got an email saying, disregard that sign. That's not true. I don't know why they even put it up on the sign. I guess maybe they were closed. I'm not sure. But the beaches are open. So that is some good news. If you live close to the beach, I think that's a perfect place to go and get some exercise, take the dog for a walk, and keep your distance. There is, plenty of room there so that you don't have to get close to anybody. But keep your dog on the leash. That's going to be my one tip to you. So many people take their dog off the leash, but because, which I'm never in favor of. But especially now, because if your dog runs up to somebody else, you might have to get a little too close to, get your dog back in your control. So please don't take your dog off the leash. That's just my little plea to anybody walking their dog on the beach. like I said, cold and windy day here so far. They're saying on the news that it's going to be a pretty nice day. The weather is kind of turned around. It was supposed to be rainy and cloudy all week, and now I'm seeing little bits of sunshine here and there. If the wind keeps up like it is now, it is definitely not going to be a nice day here at the Jersey Shore, in my area anyway. But we'll see. Maybe it'll calm down a little bit. I don't know. Dave Murphy on Channel 6, not even talking about the wind. He's like, yeah, the wind's about 7 miles per hour. I'm like, oh, no. It is not 7 miles per hour here. I'm telling you, those are about 20, 25 mile per hour sustained winds. I'm gusting. I'm going to guess at least 30 miles per hour. Whole house is a-shaking. A whole house is a-shaking. So do what you can today to just get through the day, people. That's all we're trying to do right now. Get through each day. But yet, look forward to all the good things to come. That is going to be the blog post for today. I have to give a big shout out to my girls in the hood. Mentioned it on Facebook last night. Scored a big container of Lysol wipes from a friend. So thank you, Linda. Also got a homemade mask made by Maureen. She should sell these. Homemade masks by Maureen. Lovely little mask. I got one for me. I got one for Joe. And I was really starting to get nervous about the Lysol wipes because it's not something that I use a lot around the house. So I have some. But, this is a time when you really need something like that. It's so much easier to just grab one of those wipes to wipe down the door handles and the light switches. And if you're not doing that, I especially if you're living with other people, I urge you to do a little bit more of that. Just in case. Better to be safe than sorry, right? So I got the Lysol wipes. Very big container, like the big one. I was so excited. She left it out on our porch for me. I went and picked it up. I was like, wow, it's the big one. So I'm very happy about that. I have found most of the time that I've needed something, if I throw it out to my group of friends, they usually have been able to come up with something. So I hope you have a group of go-to people that you can, maybe help you with certain supplies that you need. I am part of my group of friends here. We've gotten into a very large, very long, very active group text. Not really a fan of the group text. Don't really want to ask to be removed from it because I'm always afraid I'm going to miss something. But I know everybody's bored. But this group text, oh my goodness. And it went on until 10:30 last night. And let me tell you, that's right. That is an hour and a half after my bedtime. Yes, I do typically turn my phone off, my ringer off when I go to bed, but it still buzzes. It still vibrates. I guess I can change that too. But, if I do all of that, then nobody else can get a hold of me either. That's my big concern with going through all those measures to try and avoid getting woken up from the group text. But the group text has been very helpful and informative and entertaining at times. So even if you really don't like being part of a group text, if you find yourself in one, maybe just give it a little go. What I typically have been doing now is I just turn my ringer off and leave it over there. So if I'm taking a little bit longer to answer your text, because that's the other problem now, I don't even pay attention to my phone anymore because it's constantly going off. So if it's taking me a little longer to get back to you, that is probably the reason why, because sometimes I'm going an hour or so without even looking at my phone because this group text is, it's a lot. It's a lot. Some different news, and something that, I don't know how I feel about this. The NFL has officially voted to expand the playoffs. 2 more teams will be included in the playoffs starting this season. It also means that the second seed in both conferences will not get a first-round bye. The only teams now to get a first-round bye will be the first seed in both the AFC and the NFC. It means that, more people get a chance to go to the playoffs. I'm just hoping we have a football season. I'm thinking that things should be getting back to normal by the time football rolls around. I don't know what's going to happen with the rest of the sports, I hope that baseball will do some sort of, shortened season to get started at some point because, baseball goes on to what, October now? I don't know what's going to happen with the NBA and the NHL, but they're about rounding up, finishing up about now. So I don't know what's going to happen. But think of the day that you can go and watch a game again. Go on out to the ballpark. Something, again, to look forward to. And that's what I'm going to try and focus on today. So I wanted to talk about your favorite cereal. I, for years, said that my favorite cereal was Lucky Charms. I love those little marshmallows, but I'm not crazy about the oaty part. I'm not crazy about that. I typically eat and they're good too. I mean, it's, covered in sugar, so it's not terrible, but I would typically try to eat all the oat parts first and then leave just a big bowl of marshmallows. And now they even have just marshmallows, which is not really cereal. It's just candy that you put milk in. But I did, little later in life, develop a huge love of Fruity Pebbles. Love Fruity Pebbles. So good. And then the milk that's left over, just drink it all in. Yum. And then somebody had mentioned something that reminded me of another cereal that I very much enjoy. And Joe usually gets me a box of it every year. Only seasonal. Dawn, it said Count Chocula. Frankenberry. Love Frankenberry. When I was a kid, it was Boo Berry, but I have come over to the Frankenberry side. All kinds of, cereal that is kind of crappy and not good for you. Cereal has a ton of sugar, regardless of whether it is a sugar-coated cereal or not. My many, many years of dieting, they have suggested you try to find a cereal that doesn't have sugar in the first 5 ingredients. You don't know how hard that is until you actually look. A friend of mine, Tracy, had said the Special K fruit and nut. I have had that, and oh man, that is good. Very, very good. Again, you think it's a healthy one. It's not really. Got a lot of sugar in it. So here are some of your choices. Alex says Captain Crunch. Adele says Honey Bunches of Oats with the strawberries. Mimi says Cheerios. Michelle says Captain Crunch peanut butter. I like the berries too. Beverly says she's tied with Cocoa Puffs and Raisin Bran Crunch. Oh, I used to eat Raisin Bran Crunch all the time. I loved it. A little nut-covered raisins. So yummy. Denise says Frosted Mini Wheats. Nikki says Honey Nut Cheerios. Another for Captain Crunch. Now, and this is a very good point. Jody says Honey Nut Cheerios, but I don't buy them. I can eat a whole box. I don't buy cereal anymore. And one of the main reasons is from what Jody just said. You go through it so fast. I feel like there's like literally 3 bowls of cereal in there. At least the bowls that I eat. And cereal is expensive. Kind of crazy. Let's see, what else? John says Lucky Charms, but I eat Special K with berries. Lisa says Frosted Flakes. Lori says Honey Bunches of Oats. Corn Pops, says Roxanne. Oh, I love me some Corn Pops. Veronica going the healthy route with Kellogg's Raisin Bran and Special K. John says multi-grain Cheerios with fresh blueberries. Oh, I love putting like sliced banana in Cheerios or the blueberries. That's really good too. Rose says Cinnamon Toast Crunch. What else? Carolyn says Millet or Malay with fresh berries and almond milk. I've never heard of that, so I'm assuming that's going to be one of the more healthy choices. And Diane says Cocoa Pebbles. I prefer the fruity. I'm not a huge chocolate fan when it comes to that kind of stuff. Now, I love chocolate candy bars. Candy bars. It's got to be milk chocolate, though. Of course, I do eat the peppermint patties, and that's dark chocolate, but that's not really the bulk of the candy. It's usually, it's the peppermint part. But I don't like chocolate-flavored cereal. I don't like chocolate ice cream. I'm not crazy about chocolate cake. I mean, don't get me wrong. If there is one dessert only, and it is chocolate cake,